Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And if you tried to use X today, chances are very good you had a hard time using X today because there was a big, huge cyber attack. And we're going to talk about that and the hows and the whys and the explanation or potential explanation. And also we're going to talk about Rumble because Rumble got hit too. And I'm sensing a theme here. So there does seem to be some commonality between the two platforms. They both bill themselves as being free speech platforms. They both tend to have right-leaning audiences. And a lot of people hate Elon Musk in particular right now. We're going to talk about that. We'll talk about, people like lighting Teslas on fire and stealing the tires from them. And it's crazy. But he is apparently blaming the Ukraine. That's where he's saying the attacks are coming from. But it's wild because the last couple of days on the internet have been insane. I did a video earlier today talking about Reddit, and there's all kinds of drama over there because they've got, new terms of service where you're not allowed to upvote, flag, images of violence. And a lot of those images that are getting all these upvotes are actually geared at Elon Musk. They had, images of him with
targets on him,
targets on his head and this whole thing. But everybody, we know about Trump derangement syndrome. This is Musk derangement syndrome. Like, it's just like, it is wild. Ever since Doge happened, that just everybody is just out to get X, out to get Elon Musk. And Rumble's getting wrapped up in this thing too. And so we're going to talk about good times on the internet, everybody.
I'm just sorry. I think about Elon derangement syndrome, and it's like EDS. It sounds like a disease you'd see a commercial for. If you have ED, you or someone you love have EDS, please, take this, copium and get over it. Kind of pill, That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah. Are you flaccid? Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about
EDS.
let's talk about these cyber attacks. Before you get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
I don't have it pulled up, but you can go out to it's up. Don't worry. You go to clownfishtv.substack.com. You can sign up for notifications when we post a video. You will get notified via email. You can check out our content. We do post multiple videos per day.
Or just hit the page like a few times.
You can just keep hitting.
Find new videos.
You can. People are like, why aren't your videos getting recommended anymore? I'm like, have you watched any lately? Are you know what I'm saying? Like, YouTube's weird now. It's like, it doesn't just show you a list of everything you're subscribed to. They're just kind of like, this is the one you're most likely to watch based on whatever. Anyway, let's talk about this. Yeah, they're doing live updates on Tom's Guide. And they're talking about what is going on here. They said X, formerly known as Twitter, went down 3 separate times with the longest outage lasting several hours around 7 a.m., 10 a.m. Pacific.
It was a pain.
It was a pain. Yeah, it was like you couldn't log in, or you try to post something, wouldn't post. And then you do like double, triple posts, and then it wouldn't go down at all. It said more than 40,000 down detector reports poured in from users during the second outage, around 35,000 during the third, stating that they couldn't even get the X website to load, and it spiked hard again for a third one. Quick report spike occurred early today, but the issue was resolved quickly. Second outage saw a higher jump. I think that's when we know this was actually the second, because it would have been like afternoon. While it was resolved quickly, a third outage appears to be wrapping up after lasting much longer. Well, maybe it was a third one then. I don't know.
Caught in one of them between work, but anyway.
Yeah, so these are the updates. They said there's no official response. They said Musk blamed a cyber attack for the X outage, but there has been no other communication from official X accounts or Musk himself. And then after that, Musk is blaming the Ukraine. They put
I did see that actually.
AI thing here. Actually, Newsweek has a whole article. I'm sure it won't be biased. So let's go. Let's see here. So X is back up at, let's see. Okay, let's go to 5:06. There we go. 5:06 p.m. according to Newsweek. Musk appears to blame Ukraine for X Twitter hack.
Well, no, he blamed people attacking from the Ukraine. He's not blaming the Ukraine.
Right. That the attacks originated from the Ukraine, not that Zelensky himself was, behind them. But who knows? We live in a crazy world, right? he appeared to blame Ukraine for today's cyber attack on X, formerly Twitter, which has caused outages of the website and app throughout Monday. During an appearance on Fox News on Monday, Musk told, was it Larry Kudlow, that there was a massive cyber attack to try and bring down the X system with IP addresses originating in the Ukraine. Or
it could have been masked.
It could have been, yes. Activists, they're actually somewhere else. Who knows? He had previously...
It could have been masked.
Yeah. He previously suggested a country was behind the attack, writing on X that a large coordinated group and or country is involved. There are a lot of very tech literate people in the Ukraine, though. Mm-hmm. And if they're blaming him for cutting off funding,
whispering did he cut off like the satellites and stuff too?
Yeah, there's a whole issue with that. So yeah, it's very possible that some people got together and said, you know what, let's take down X. Yeah, pretty much. X is back up, according to Musk, at 5:42 p.m. Elon Musk, the billionaire owner of X, has announced the social media site is back up after a serious hack crashed the website for hours on Monday. He was blaming, again, this hacking group, Dark Storm Team, claimed responsibility for it. Musk said he pointed the finger at Ukraine. So now he returns to sharing memes. And as of 7/12, which isn't long before us recording this, cyber expert says it's unlikely that a state actor was behind the X attack. So a cyber operations expert said it doesn't make a lot of sense that a state actor would be behind the attack on X today. Musk posted on X that a large coordinated group or country is involved. The massive hack, which took down social media app, he blamed Ukraine, the Ukraine area. Mm-hmm. And this is Nicholas Reese, who's an instructor at the Center for Global Affairs in New York, the University School of Professional Studies. That's quite a title.
So no one in New York's going to have bias. But anyway.
I know, right? He told the Star Tribune the state actor doesn't make a lot of sense, given the outage's short duration. There are kind of two types of cyber attacks. There are ones that are designed to be very loud, and there are ones that are designed to be very quiet. The ones that are usually the most valuable are the ones that are very quiet. Yeah, it's just kind of, shooting you in the kneecaps a little bit. Something like this was designed to be discovered. So to me, that almost certainly eliminates state actors, and the value that they would have gained from this is pretty low. So basically, they're just trying to make a statement.
Okay. So basically, you're saying is from my standpoint, what they wouldn't have got when they wanted to can't be that. But that's not enough evidence either. Like saying it all came from the Ukraine area, they could be masked. That could totally happen. You could somehow mask them. But at the same time, what they said too, because that's what they usually do. So that seems pretty low to me. That doesn't mean that's not impossible either.
Right. And I'm looking at my phone now. Curiously enough, according to Unusual Whales, Zelensky sent an apology letter to Trump.
Oh, really?
So he wants money.
That has nothing to do with this, but okay.
No, but I'm just saying about the whole Ukraine thing. It's So there was that. That was X, and then Rumble. Not to be outdone.
Was it the same people? They think it's the same group or no?
I don't know. This is Chris Pavlovsky, who is the head of Rumble. He said he confirmed that the Rumble engineering team is fighting a large DDoS attack that has intermittently affected our services today. Some people said they were streaming. I saw some people saying they were actually streaming on Rumble when the outage occurred. Mm-hmm. And the top response, when are you going to have a Samsung app? Someone says, it's Ukraine. It's suspicious. Wow. Free speech is quite literally under attack. Also from Ukraine.
Have to Rumble too, which why would the Ukraine go after Rumble too? You know what I mean? That makes me think that maybe someone's trying to blame it on them.
Yeah, I think. Okay, so yeah, there are a lot of attacks going on right now across the board.
Or they just use the opportunity at the same time to go.
It could be that too.
Let's just piggyback off of it.
Right. It could be that.
We don't know. We're not going to do.
I have no idea. But, X, Rumble, Tesla, and Musk are all fighting for freedom of speech, and they're all getting attacked because we've got this cyber truck attack, Tesla attacks.
People are lighting them on fire.
On January 29th, a 40-year-old woman threw a Molotov cocktail at a cyber truck in Colorado. There's a video out there on X, if you can watch it. Some random hipster-looking dude just walked up to he ran alongside a guy's cyber truck and started hitting it.
I know, and the thing is, there's cameras on. Teslas have the cameras in the rearview, like the mirrors. So I was like, I thought most people knew that. So they're not very bright. Like, you're going to go out there and attack this car with a camera right on you. So there's all kinds of evidence you did it, but you're going to do it anyway, even though you know for a fact there's evidence that you did it. I'm like, that was stupid.
Yeah. So apparently it's not just, individuals that own Teslas that are getting it. It's the dealerships are getting it.
The dealerships are. People have been getting letters threatening them. They said, but if you don't get rid of your Tesla by a certain date, I think it's either this month or next month, that we'll leave you alone as long as you get rid of it. But if you don't, we're going to come at you, basically.
Yeah, what do they call them? Swastikars? Is that?
Yeah.
It's like, don't buy a Volkswagen. Google it. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people probably drive Volkswagens. That's another story.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. But like, it's crazy that people are taking their frustration out on these vehicles. But I'm not surprised because, we talked about Reddit a little bit at the beginning of the video, and there are more and more calls for activism and violence against Musk and Musk's businesses on Reddit specifically. So people are not in a good place right now mentally. A lot of people.
Because how dare he work with Doge to stop corruption in the government? How dare he do that?
Well, he actually, they actually pointed out that Doge may have been in a catalyst in this. So I will tell you.
Well, I know that's what's going on. I have zero doubt
that when I was keeping tabs on what was going on with the layoffs, and I was on some of the federal workers subreddits, that there were people that were getting pretty damn testy, and a lot of those people they got laid off and they're bored and they want to blame somebody. Well, let's go throw a rock through a Tesla windshield.
I think you have that, but I also think you have these people that are so pickled that they're like honestly thinking that, I just don't understand it. Like, this person, here's where your tax money is going to places it shouldn't go, and here's where you're being robbed. How dare you? It's like, what the flip, I don't understand it. If someone robs me, I want to know about it. If someone's misappropriating funds, I want to know about it. That's where you can get this politically pickled mentality. It's like your party can do no wrong. And I think I'm making a mistake. I believe completely that both sides have misappropriated money. I am not even saying that they didn't, because I completely believe it. But I mean, to argue this.
This guy's a professor. This is interesting. This is Michael Morris. He's a professor from Columbia Business School. And he did a book called Tribal about cultural divides. And he predicts that if the cultural blowback continues, Musk will resign from Doge to save his businesses.
Is that what they're trying to do, though? And let me ask you this. That's his input. It makes you kind of wonder, like, I'm not saying they have something to do with it, but I'm just like, is that the goal?
Yeah, he's like, it'd be a real tragedy for the world if Elon Musk's good work at Tesla and his good work at SpaceX and his good work at his solar company got derailed by cultural blowback against his somewhat amateurish attempts to reform government.
Amateurish, yeah. So I wonder where they're getting the idea from.
Yeah, it's so funny because for years we heard business owners have to get more political. Business owners have to take a stand. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden it's like, well, business owners should stay out of politics.
Yeah, because they're not taking the stand they want them to take.
Right. But isn't it ironic? Isn't it ironic?
Yeah, but that's what it sounds to me like that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to cause so much trouble that he's going to have to resign, and they're going to have to stop. They think that Doge will stop. And then, so he can save his businesses. And then I'm telling you, and then this person says it. And then his amateurish attempts. It'd be a real shame. It'd be a real shame if you couldn't do this anymore because, we forced you to. That's how it comes across, dude. Just
like if you buy a Tesla, it'd be a real shame if you wake up and the wheels are missing. It'd be a real shame if we lit the car on fire. Yeah, right. It'd be a real shame.
They're sending him letters about now. And this is insane. So this is all happening all at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it's about Doge. I think it's all about Doge because.
Did you notice he never mentioned X in the list of businesses?
Yeah, I did actually. I was like, right, he owns some other company. No, you're not going to talk about that one. No, you're just going to talk about. Okay, all right. I see what's going on here. Yeah, they're big mad about it, and it's basically they're like, well, it's no big deal. He's quarantined to X. He's basically taken the the business plan from X where he walked into the company and fired, 75% of people on day one. Mm-hmm. And he's taken that exact methodology and he's applying it to the federal government. And they are like, I cannot express to you, I can't even repeat some of the stuff on YouTube, but I can't express to you how furious these federal workers are and some of the mental gymnastics that they're doing. Like, they seem to think that they were above getting fired. They thought they were going to be there for life.
They think they're above answering like what they do and everything else, even though most other jobs you get asked that. Like, what did you do this week? What are your plans for this week? We need to coordinate that. Tell me what, you go to like your review. What are like 3 things that you think that you've done really well in the past year? That's normal questions that you get asked at a job. Kneon had to literally work with a woman who would be in his Google documents at the same time he was typing, and then would try to type at him to change things the way she wanted it.
Oh my God. That was, So I've had a couple of nightmare jobs, but both
of them were run by women, coincidentally.
I am just saying, and this is not to be misogynist, and I've told Geeky this too.
Oh, he knows not to get misogynistic with me.
But I have had pretty much every female boss I've ever had has been incredibly difficult. And that's,
they overcompensate.
I think that's it because, I work mostly in marketing, publishing, and tech, right?
Mostly male,
male dominated.
Male dominated. More men work in those fields.
And one woman, I don't think she was terrible, but she definitely showed a preference for her female employees over her male employees. The male employees almost felt like you just kind of sort of had to be there because
you're the diversity hires.
You're the diversity hires. Yeah. The one company, there's only like 3 of us. There's like 3 men. I was like, this is, a little bit different than what, I'm used to, but okay. But we did all the tech work. And the women did the other stuff. They were like sales and front facing and stuff like that. So we were all kind of shoved down the basement doing all the grunt work. Anyway, but this one woman I worked for, it was I would be itemizing everything I did this week, and she would literally be in the Google Doc, and you know how you can see the cursor move, like they can see you in the doc, and she'd be like changing things, or literally I'm typing out like I did this, asking me questions on the doc as I'm typing. I'm like, this isn't a fucking chat, right? This isn't a chat. I'm trying to tell you what I did, and you're in here changing my stuff as I'm typing it, and you're right over there. Why don't you come into my office and let's have a conversation? Let's have an impromptu meeting for like 15 minutes. But no. She had to go in and change my shit literally as I'm writing it.
But both those jobs, you had to like account for every minute.
I had to account for every minute. The one
every week.
Yeah, the one was an advertising agency, and it was a digital advertising agency. And I had to break down in 15-minute increments. I had a sheet. Everybody at the company did, because there were billable hours. And I had a sheet, and I had to write down like, okay, this is for this client, this is for that client. Okay, I worked 2.5 hours for this client on this project. And that's how they build the clients, right? So for government employees to be this indignant, when somebody's asking them what they did with taxpayer money, and then to have a shit fit and start, calling for violence and all this other stuff on Reddit, I'm like, what the hell? So
we had Reddit with that today. Then Twitter and Rumble had cyber attacks.
Right. And all these things are related. I'm telling you, they're all related. It's going to be a very interesting. I mean, we're only a little over 2 months into the year. This is going to be a very interesting 4 years. To put it mildly. And when people say, may you live in interesting times, I'm like, we've been living in interesting times since 2016. When can we stop living in interesting times?
Yeah, at that point, that's a threat.
Right? I just don't want us to live. Like, why can't we live in the most boring decade ever? Boring but stable. I will take a boring but stable decade. We're going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.